Hi, everyone. So today's excerpt is from chapter 5, and it's called Obstacles. So I had adopted my second special needs dog, Joey, and that went very smoothly. So I just assumed that when I went through this adoption process for Gidget, that it would go just as smoothly. But as it would turn out, there would be many obstacles to overcome. And in the end, this is a ways away yet in my book, there would be a teaching in this that I would come to see and come to understand of two women who loved a little dog so much and wanted the best for her. And there would be a teaching, like I said, in that for me. But this excerpt that I'm going to read is, it begins with, and I do change the name of the rescue organization and the person that I worked with just for privacy reasons. But I would learn a term called pretty dog collector. I had never heard that term until I had adopted Gidget. And as the rescue gal would share with me, that is someone she told me that is somebody who collect or adopts dogs solely based on their looks. So I thought that was a very interesting term. And so the part I'm going to read is there were quite a few hoops and loops I was jumping through. And so this is the part I'm going to start with. In the weeks leading up to her adoption, I was a wreck. I already knew from Gidget's pictures and videos that she was quite the charmer and a love bug. And I grew concerned that Cheryl was going to change her mind about letting her go. When things weren't progressing as I'd hoped, I wrestled with feelings of frustration and even wondered at times why Gidget had been listed on Pet Finder in the first place. It took persistence and reaching out often to Cheryl to assure her I was seriously interested in having Gidget as part of my family. Though I feared this would end with a broken heart for me, I did my best to understand that Cheryl loved Gidget too and wanted what was best for her. This period of limbo made me think of people who wish to adopt a child and what they must have to go through when the birth mother changes her mind. If they could endure that kind of disappointment, I told myself, then I too could find a way to be at peace, no matter how things worked out with Gidget. From my discussions with Cheryl, it wasn't quite clear to me whether Gidget would need a wheelchair or not. One scene of the video shared on Pet Finder showed her walking with the aid of a dog sling, while another showed her walking on her own with that endearing wobbly gait. It was evident from the video that Cheryl and her team of volunteers were instrumental in getting Gidget to be as mobile as she was. Judging from my experience, though, I thought perhaps a wheelchair might help strengthen Gidget's muscle tone and help her to walk even better than she currently was. I also, as mentioned earlier, wanted a doxie who needed a wheelchair, so the one I had could be of use to another. But by this point, I was okay with knowing that Gidget might be able to get along without it. So as you can tell just from that brief excerpt, there were some obstacles to endure, as I started out by saying, and there were a few other challenges as well. But eventually, everything would turn out. And as we go to the next chapter for tomorrow, the chapter is called Welcoming Gidget. This is a very, very happy day for me, and I can't wait to share an excerpt with you from that chapter, chapter 6. Again, I'll share that tomorrow. All right, thanks again for listening.